very good evening. Happy Sunday, everybody, and welcome to Game Week 20 of the Super League, where we are privileged and honoured to be joined by one of the most outspoken and charismatic members of the entire Super League community, with his map of world domination behind him. Good evening, Fulchester boss Macca. How are you, pal?
Good evening, Chairman Fife. I am livid today.
Livid. Is there any particular reason you're livid today, or just generally? Because you did say to me that the festive season brings out the worst in you.
Yeah, do you know what? It's all bullshit. Why is everyone being nice and false positivity and all that kind of stuff? No. For 335 days a year or whatever, you're an utter dickhead. Don't think 30 days of saying, "Oh, let's go for a pint," is going to convince me otherwise. Fuck off. Just every fucking Christmas songs in October and all that. Nah, fuck off, man. Absolutely had enough of it. It's ridiculous. Honestly, I cannot wait until my kids understand who Santa is and then go, "Yeah, but he's not real." You fuck off that. He's not taking the credit. No, honestly, I can't be arsed with it. It's just grim. Let's be honest, aside from the food and the Boxing Day fixture list, it's just not enjoyable. It's wank. It's just fucking wank.
Is there any elements about the festive period that you do enjoy other than the food? For example, I was doing some Christmas shopping earlier today with my little boy, and he asked me what my top 3 favourite Christmas songs were. If I was to ask you, would you be able to answer that question?
Do you know what? I probably could actually. I think Fairy Tale in New York's got a bit. This is in no particular order. Fairy Tale in New York, fine.
That made my list.
Right.
Yeah,
I can hear it once, and that's fine. That'll do. I don't want to be hearing it around the middle of fucking Debenhams on October 27th. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas, because let's be honest, that is a bit of a banger.
No, can't stand it.
Finally, I don't know actually. What's it called? By the Darkness. Don't Let the Bells End, maybe, or something. I don't know. There's probably another one that I like.
Okay, interesting.
Or one where you think, oh yeah, a bit of a bopper. But like that's it. Hear it once, hear it on Christmas Day, and that's fucking it. Then turn it off.
No, fine, fair enough. For anyone interested, I also said Fairy Tale of New York. I then went a bit rogue by saying that I also was looking for a bit of a bop and went for Feliz Navidad. I love that. Always makes me happy when that comes on. It's just so cheery.
Yeah, I've scouted him a long time ago. Lovely Spanish left back.
And Dominic the Donkey as well. His always makes me smile when that comes on.
What is Dominic the Donkey?
If you've never heard Dominic the Donkey, then it means that you weren't old enough to be listening to Chris Moyles and his Radio 1 days, but also you've not had the pleasure, and I strongly recommend you YouTube it afterwards. It will be stuck in your head for the whole season.
Right, quick question.
Yes,
because I'm a bit of a techno monk with this. Like I said, I'm decent at Excel and nothing else. Why can everybody else comment and I can't in StreamYard here? What's the crack? Do I need to sign in or something?
No. If you've left the screen big enough to have your chat, you should have the little chat box. But then I'm always playing as host, so I can just type in anyway. I've never done it as guest, but normally it should just have in the bottom right hand corner as you're looking at it, little chat box.
No, I can't see. I can see it on private chat, but not in the comments bit.
Yeah, private chat you were working because you sent me a message earlier, but comments it should be there just at the bottom underneath.
Why have I not got enough? Oh, fuck knows. I don't know. Right, whatever. Who cares? It don't matter anyway.
Ultimately, people want to hear you talk. They don't want to see you type.
I was going to say, I'm going to be chatting enough shit. I don't need to be typing it as
well. There's lots of comments coming in about festive songs as well.
I don't know. Oh, Alf Bridge, White Christmas. I hope he. Well, speaking of Bing, I hope he gets absolutely fucking binged up after getting bummed tonight.
We have been asked. We have been asked.
Modern day players now, Macca, seen a jamming normally. Oh, fuck off. Sorry, right, go on, 5 So I'm going to have to turn these turn these comments off. Right, shall we crack on? We're 6 minutes in.
We are indeed. Quick look at the league table, and let's look at yourselves. You've been particularly vocal about the assembly of your squad from the very beginning. You didn't like the spinning wheel. You didn't like the squad you got. You didn't like the transfers that were available. There was basically nothing good leading into the season. You sit 5th, and after a sort of a slow start up to about game week 6, you've pretty much been on the rise ever since. Are you putting that down to just being a superior manager to just about everybody else?
Yes, absolutely. Although, actually, I think the manager of the year is already sewn up, if Twitter's to be believed. It doesn't matter. Despite Kitchen Dan not actually finishing in the top 6 yet, he's already manager of the year, despite having a top squad and only just stringing some results together. So, whatever. But no, that is down to pure and utterly my absolute fucking greatness, Fifey, yeah.
You are proving a few people wrong on a couple of players. Michael Owen has got 6 goals and 7 assists. He's one that's never been considered as capable of doing it in the Super League. Another one that you always said you would get numbers out of is Riquelme, 8 goals and 7 assists in his 19 appearances.
Well, yeah, because it's not hard. Like I've said since I joined Super League, pick your best players, play them in positions where their stats are beneficial, and give them any nuanced instructions to do so. Look at the state of my team, Fifey, and look at that goal scored. 41 goals in 19 games with that bag of shit squad is ridiculous. The only problem is I've played Taribo West and Valharan at the back for 17 games, and that's where I've conceded 34. but in all seriousness, if I had the defence of a Coast or a Burn, or a Gazelles even, who again, well, they're only up there because they've only played half a fucking season but won it all somehow. Do you know what I mean? I'd be romping this league. If I had a decent DMC and a decent centre half instead of West, I'd be about 8 points clear.
Alf asking if you're playing Scrooge in a local panto.
Yes, I'm going to make him fucking Bob Cratchit, whatever he's called, scout overtime every day.
We have been asked to play Vikings first if possible. So Ghost Game permitting, I will allow it. But are there any other fixtures other than your own you're looking forward to tonight?
Casuals, Gazelles, bit of a playoff rivalry though. I mean, in essence, looking at the tightness of the table though, and I'm level with sort of Haggis and Casuals, I think, on points, yeah. I could do with the Gazelles win, but I'll be honest with you, I utterly hate that fucking club and everything about them. So I hope they get bummed. I'd rather drop out the top 6 than make it if they're in it. Genuinely. The scummy club, awful club. And then the other one, probably Burn and Coast. I think that'd be a good game.
Okay.
Between a transfer bully who does more to erode your fucking time and mental stability than water does against rock on the coast of a windy shore, right? Versus database builder who is conveniently top.
Oh, superb. Jens saying that as Macca's on comms, he will be staying up. He's looking forward to this. Let's get straight in on the action. And we will do Vikings first, just in case. They're without the suspended Totti, who actually picked up a 2-game ban, which is a rarity. In this league, they have made changes. Quim usually number 1 choice, but Costanzo, who got a good coach report, gets the number 1 slot today, and they revert back to the anti-corruption task force formation, which I thought you might like, which sees Desai play in front of Gamara and Cannavaro. Gore and Duff out wide with Walker and Van Bommel in the middle. Etzebury supporting Smith and Mpenza.
Do you know what? It just looks very workman-like, doesn't it? Like there's no artists there. I mean, I've never heard of Bart Goer, and everybody else is just very, very, very functional, aren't they? Like there's no glamour about that. That is very much just smash and bang, pillage, Viking style tactics. I can't remember what I predicted here. I think I went for a draw actually in Swannish Prediction League. But again, there's nothing. You know what I mean? It's testament to the job Jens has done this season actually to be still within a sniff of the playoffs and whatever else. Given that, let's be honest, that's a bag of shit, and that's after he's done 6 transfers. It's just not very good to look at. At least in my team, like there's no defensive structure, and it's just all, like mercurial talents. Like Jens has just got like a team of fucking Scott Parkers, hasn't he?
They are doing some deadline day business, as you know, with an exchange deal between you two for Davis becoming a full-time member of the Fulchester squad and Petticosa going the other way.
Yeah, I think you know what I'm like with keepers. I generally try and pick one and stick with them more often, unless they throw in a 3 or a 4 or something like that. Pleticosa, in my experience, doesn't really get any good until about 5 or 6 seasons in. So for me, that is an absolute steal to get Sean Davis, who can play in teams from season 1, and who I do see as coming in potentially instead of Seedorf or Ambrosini at some point in season 2 or 3. So, yeah, cracking little deal for me, I think. And Jens gets a keeper again to throw in a 3 or a 4 and piss him off.
Let's go and have a look at White Rose then, who are without the suspended Dede, Vieira, and Pellizzoli tonight. But it just goes to show the wealth of talent at their disposal that neither Ebi Sand or Hussein even make the match day squad.
That's mental.
You can see that he's left the shithouse tactics to one side. He's gone with something a bit more coast-like, I suppose. Cole and Zanoni playing out wide, Guerrero in the middle, Nicky Franco and Montano supporting Tony. But it's that back line, isn't it? And Nicky Butt, someone that you gave real Super League heritage to. I don't really think he's hit the same levels at Rose, unfortunately. But Lucio and Samuel, Nigel Martin in goal tonight.
Steve. I don't. Right, so do you know what? This is why I keep banging on about how like the drafts and all that stuff are unfair. And when I talk about people doing idiotic transfers and whatever, you just get teams that sell the family silver for plastic cutlery. It's just nonsense. How's he ended up with Nigel Martin as a serious goalkeeping option? Like, what is that about? How's his attacking line? Tony, Nicky Franco, and Yohani Montano, was it? He's about 15. He's not even ready for the game. Yeah. Do you know what? Saying this now, he'll probably end up putting on a brilliant performance, but I still feel, even with the players he's got available, there's a better 11 you could put out. I'd need 5 or 10 minutes to look at it. But how Neville's not getting a game, I don't know. I will. Then again, Lucio and Samuel. Shit, I'd even be inclined to play 3 at the back with them 3 and be solid as. Del Vecchio should possibly get a game as well. Yeah, it's a funny one. Richard Wright over Nigel Martin, though, in season 1, surely.
I mean, as someone who had Richard Wright in my squad, I would always pick him over Nigel Martin.
Did he do all right for you when he was at Devils?
He was always Frey's understudy. Whenever Frey was unavailable, he'd come in, get an 8, and then get replaced again.
I just have to make a quick apology to the Peroni Ultras. We are drinking absolute peasant filth, purely because I think due to the England game, the local shop sold out of everything. So my choice was 4 Corona Zero for £7.50 or 10 Fosters for a tenner. So you can imagine what I picked.
10 Fosters for a tenner.
I've got a feeling this will be utterly fucking drab, this game.
Utterly drab is the prediction for game 1. Let's kick off as White Rose entertain Vikings. I hope not, because as I said, you're always entertaining on co-coms, and we've had a couple of entertaining evenings results-wise of late. So I hope that trend continues. And it's Etsaparia who opens the scoring just before half-time. A half-time that has flown by with very, very little happening. Macca on Foster's.
Yeah, I've literally just explained, Duggan.
I was looking for Macca on comms and I found Macca on comms. It's the comment from Ian.
I mean, what he's laughing at me, lads, it's needs must. I wasn't getting the fucking Lambrella in, was I? Cooking lager. Fucking hell, Greaves. Just when I thought you couldn't sink any lower. Titanic's above you in my estimations now. Right. Cooking lager.
Vikings scored with their only shot on target. Rose did create a couple more opportunities but failed to score. But in truth, it was the first half of very little incident.
Yeah, kind of flown by. The headers won statistic is what draws my eye there, actually. I would have thought the Vikings, again, with their sort of steelier midfield, would have been a bit more competitive in terms of tackles and headers, but clearly not. So curious to see how Steve's playing, because he seems to be dominating the ball, particularly midfield. But Vikings lead. It's one of them. Steve was talking up his own place in the Hall of Fame last season at this stage, going, oh, we might go back to back. Not a fucking chance, son. Not a chance. You had a banging squad and you've ruined it. Honestly, this is margin. It's all. Do you know what? The only thing that possibly saves Steve's reputation this season is the fact that Alf has been that bad with a better squad.
Well, you're not the first person to comment on the performance of Alf with the squad at his disposal. Samuel rating an 8 at halftime, as is Nicky Butt. Look at the amount of tackles that the two of them are putting in. 18 between them. They've completed 15 of them, of which 7 have been key. But it's at the other end of the pitch. Montano and Guerrero having the shots. So Luca Toni not doing what he's paid for at this current time.
That's bad. Tony and Nicky Franco not even having a shot. And the thing is, for me, given that Montano is shooting, you'd be inclined to leave him on.
Mm-hmm. You certainly would. Let's have a look at the Vikings squad. Actually,
that's housery. That is utter housery.
Steve did suggest he would try and watch, but he is out or away at the moment. Yes. So
I believe, ironically, he's in York, doing some sort of like Jorvik Centre nonsense or something. I don't know if he's with the lads or his missus.
I believe he might be with his missus, possibly. I remember the times where Steve didn't have a missus, said he would never have a missus, and if he ever was to get one, she would never get in the way of Super League. But oh, how the mighty have fallen. Let's have a look at Vikings. That's again, Mpenza Smith not having any shots at all, as we saw, just the one opportunity created.
Oh, here we go. Fucking positive Tato. Everything's class. Everything's great. Everyone's wonderful. Fuck off.
Alf suggests he's been unlucky in 18 matches.
Yeah, and what about for the past 6 seasons?
Evening to Dan. Looking at the bench, Ado Volodенko, ZZ Roberts, is there anything the Vikings can do just to impose their style a little bit more, or are they going to be quite content to absorb the pressure?
I would potentially put Volodенko on for Bart Goa, actually, just to see if he can get some crosses in for Mpenza. But he's winning. He's reasonably solid at the back. I mean, there's probably not a whole lot you'd want to change. I think he's just said roll till 60, actually. So why not? Oh, Tato, we're actually going to find a turd that is hundreds of years old, for fuck's sake. Over in Oldham, where Alf lives.
Jens is sticking as is till 60. So let's resume the action and see how we go. Rosa is again with the first opportunity of the half. Yellow card handed out.
I can't get why Steve's not named a different bench. His bench feels limited.
Do you know what? I thought that, especially, as I said, no Stan, no Hussein. Frank is the only actual attacking option on the bench.
Yeah, it's got to be Franca for Montano, hasn't it?
Well, it's only that the instructions is only changes for red cards or injuries.
Oh, well, on his head, beat it.
There's Dan again. Oh.
Rodeo disagrees with the Jorvik Centre thing. It is a bit of a swizz. It's a 5-minute walk through, to be fair, and you pay about 20 quid getting or something. It's a bit of a nonsense. Shambles is all right, but again, it's just overpaid tat. Particularly at Christmas. Oh, let's have a romantic photo. What, of just every other cunt trying to rush past you? No thanks.
As for Jens, still under a fair bit of pressure. Look at Gamara, they're rating a 9. But on the flip side, Mpenza now on a yellow card rating a 5. The strikers are not getting any service whatsoever.
What was that song you talked about? Was it Big Donkey?
Dominic the Donkey?
Well, Emil the Mule or something here going on. He's terrible. Drag him off for ZZ Roberts.
I mean, we're in danger of some sort of copyright claim, I think. But I'll play you just a little bit of it, if you like, while we wait for Jens to make a decision. Just wait for the YouTube advert to finish, and then I will grace you with just a little bit of Dominic the Donkey. Ian Edwards there saying York is fantastic, but wouldn't waste my time hanging around with a bunch of Vikings.
Probably because he grind them all into dust, which I'm sorry for.
You hear that? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, jingity jing, it's Dominic the donkey. Jingity jing, the Italian Christmas donkey. La 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 la. La 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 la.
5
Yeah.
5 I daren't fucking ask what's on the rest of your hard drive, son. What is that? That's awful, mate. Mate, come on. Is that to get rid of like family members that come around your house or something?
Honestly, it's class.
Atrocious.
It's absolute class. It makes me and Aidan smile all the time.
But
He
you know
loves
what?
it.
In all seriousness, that's the most important thing. If it brings a smile to the Five household, good on you. Enjoy it. Don't let a miserable old bastard from Manchester tell you otherwise.
I would never consider you that way. ZZ for
He's
Smith.
still
Ado for
coming up in
MVP.
February for the Swindon Salford game.
It's definitely on the list.
Fantastic. Let us know because I've not.
Ado back to the
yet.
MC on the left. Oh, on the
Tato
left.
says what has happened here. Well, not much, Tato. That's the whole point. That's why we're stringing it out for 15 minutes.
Right. I believe that's what Jens is doing. He's kind of matching up essentially.
Yeah, he's done that.
Anyone else a fan of Father Christmas? Do not touch. But God.
Honestly, I feel like Rodeo just operates in like this alternate universe that he somehow has access to ours, but we don't his. So half the time I've no idea what he's on about, but I just kind of get it.
Yeah, thanks. And swap the strikers around. He wants. There we go.
So he's took Smith off. That's an interesting one.
It is indeed. 65 on the clock, and the changes.
We need a bit of White Rose action here, actually, for the playoff chasers.
Oh, but that'll put all sorts of pressure on Alf.
What, to not finish bottom?
Yeah, we need to keep it tight at the bottom as well. Samuel heads the ball.
We need to keep it tight at the bottom.
Just you mentioning, as in Pens has fouled there. Ado lines up the free kick. Martin does well to turn it away. You mentioning things that bring a smile to the Five household at Christmas. Dominic the Donkey is up there with the traditional Coke advert that really cheers us up at this time of year. We love it.
Which one's that? Is that the one where the truck comes
with a truck? Yeah.
See, so in my household, whether I've been single, married, or whatever, a 5:30 a.m. bottle of Bucks Fizz normally does the trick to get me through the first few hours. Then maybe like I don't know.
Oh, it's two! Edsbury scored again. And Rose are all sorts of trouble at the bottom end of the table. Sorry, continue.
No, I was just saying that, then maybe a couple of Valium and a few Peroni or something, try and beat the sleep and then wait for Christmas dinner, crack on and then hit it massive.
Hit it massive. Well, someone who has hit it massive today is Etsabaria. 2 goals away at White Rose.
I feel like do you know what? They've not even stole it, though. They've been a better team in the second half. They've improved that headers won percentage. So Jens obviously knew what he was doing there. Passes completed fell off a bit. Tackles, he's been out tackled, actually. That's really surprised me. But ultimately, at this stage of the season, it's all about getting the results, isn't it?
And Doug and saying Rose are honking, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They are. And that's pure manager, that.
Hall of Fame management. Let's have a look.
Mate, I've literally got a hoodie says that to be the man, you've got to beat the man. And much like Ric Flair, I somehow have lost thousands of times in my champ career, but I'm still self-considering myself as the man.
Joe Cole has seen so much of the ball there and been incredibly wasteful with it. 43 passes, only 26 complete.
Yeah, but at least he's tried something. Nicky Butt has done okay. Still monster performance in midfield.
Lots of tackles.
Like Samuel. Yeah. The forward line have been way more involved, and Guerrero started trying to do a bit more as well. But Montano has literally done nothing since the first half.
No,
he's not had any more shots or anything. I mean, that's so odd. No.
Hashtag Stee out, says Tato.
Yeah.
Etsabaria, unsurprisingly.
Stee right out for me, yeah.
Unsurprisingly, Etzberia gets man of the match for his brace. Costanzo, as I said, comes in after getting a glowing coach reference, and he matches that up with a 9 performance. Gamara as well at the back, rating a 9. It surprises me, when, like you say, they certainly dominated the second half and improved, but Mpenza's there still 0 attempts on goal.
That's an odd one there. I can't remember, who did he trade for Mpenza? It was a fairly blockbustery deal, wasn't it?
Crespo.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, you ain't ever getting a no shots and 6 from Crespo, are you? Like that. I mean, I'd say that I feel like Mpenza he had that run with you, but then he's not done anything else with anybody else.
That's the difference between someone who talks about being a Hall of Fame manager and someone who is a Hall of Fame manager. Jens pointed out, Mpenza has scored important goals. He's allowed one night off.
Has he actually scored for Jens yet? Or
yeah, he's got 3. He had 3 and 5 before this.
I feel like that was probably a hat trick in one game. He's done fuck all since. Yeah, it was. Look, 9 and 4 sevens. That was definitely a hat trick, and then 4 nothing performances.
And Mpenza and Tony, both big players last save, doing absolutely nothing this one so far, says Doug.
Likewise, Robin. Yeah, all these unheralded gems are doing well. So, I mean, I wonder who's... Maybe questions need to be asked.
So Ian Edwards posted that Nicky is the biggest Super League myth of all time, to which Tato's put, it's very interesting why Nicky doesn't play well in the Super League. He has no idea why it happens.
Because he's shit.
There you go.
Simple answer.
Although,
do you know what? I'll throw it out there. I had him, never liked him anyway. I don't think he played. I traded him to Hodgie for like Joe Cole or something back in the day. But I reckon if I had him, I reckon I'd get double figures goals and assists, like combined, easy out of him over the course of a season.
Next up, we're going to the Celtic Pirates at home to bottom of the table Aston Athletic. Tato, but he isn't shit, is he? Rock's on the other hand saying he's shite.
Well, he is because he's not done anything, has he?
Hodgie 15 and 19 for me.
Yeah, but that was 3 redrafts ago, Hodgie.
He scores fuck tons at every level of the game, just not the Super League. That's because this is the elite of the elite.
Right, so Tato, he's a flat track bully then.
Let's get on to Celtics versus Astor. They are without Maldini, they're without Zerleus, and Tristan is still coming back from an injury. That doesn't really alter the tactics too much. Babel and Vrede in front of Taibbi with Gattuso playing in the holding midfield role. Davids and Effenberg in front of them with Jorgatos and Beckham out wide. Raul supporting Shevchenko and Morientes. But again, somehow, in my opinion only, I don't know if you agree, Macca, it's a very piss-poor looking bench.
Yeah, that's an atrocious bench, to be honest with you. I think because if the game doesn't open up and he's not doing any, say his crosses from the wings aren't working or anything like that, where's his creativity coming from? There's nothing in that sort of midfield trio of Davids, Effenberg and Gattuso that screams forward pass or, dink into the box for Shevchenko to run onto or something like that. So it's, again, very workmanlike in midfield. Great wingers. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Beckham. I do like his entire forward line, actually. Like, less of a fan of Morientes, but Raul and Shevchenko should get you tons of goals. I just think, that just where's his options with a bench? It's like he's named a bench in protest. But do you know what, though? Greaves, he has a...
In protest against himself?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, because he has a fantastic habit of inheriting good teams, doing all right, getting too big for his boots, doing a couple of fucking nonsense transfers, then being shit, then wheeling out some old Italian catchphrase to justify why he's shit. Spelt incorrectly, obviously. And then he does yet more transfers, copies somebody else's formation, and then starts acting like he's Mourinho incarnate again. Just like, Greaves, lad, nah, stop. Good morning, by the way.
Let's have a look at Asta, who, and I know you'll have an opinion on this, I imagine. Jens has put, for not answering my transfer offer from yesterday yet, and considering deadline is now over, which technically, Jens, it's not. If you could get a message to me before the end of tonight's show, then I will still process it. I hope you lose 6-0 here, Alf.
Do you know what? Right, I'm being deadly serious here. If I had that team, I would probably bring in one or two forwards, sensible forwards, not even blockbuster names, and I reckon I'd win league because that's absurd. That like midfield and defence is absurd.
Past meetings between the two, just the one meeting which Celtics won.
Of course, it was 1-0.
Of course it was. Vote of confidence in the Astor Stars. Correct, Alf. And the fans were protesting after you got tonked 3-0 by Triple P, who I thought
that's embarrassing,
a embarrassment.
Yeah, because let's face it, Triple P are literally like a banter side. Can you imagine in real life Zinedine Zidane sat on the bench next to Chris Sutton, and then the manager comes over. The manager comes over and goes, "Harold Chris, warm up please for me." And Zizou sat there being like, "What? It wouldn't happen in any other realm than Pyongyang." But you have to fucking. Oh, so what's he doing now? Is he copying Northern Burn this week?
No, Astor remain unchanged despite the 3-0 defeat.
Right, banging centre halves. I mean, I love Hansi Put as a keeper. I think he's fantastic. Great penalty taker as well, actually. Phenomenal midfield. Like, phenomenal midfield. Poe is quite underrated, actually. Robin Brugging, Inzaghi. Again, it's just class, isn't it? It's just class throughout. I just think every single one of those players, bar Poe over Riquelme, probably walks into my team in those positions.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, maybe I'll probably keep Alex over Sorin, actually, because I do like Alex. But yeah, other than that, I'd swap everybody.
Dan saying Zidane and Sutton on the bench, not quite as strange as Ronaldo on the bench with Tommy Smith.
Oh, is that casuals?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Tommy Smith strikes me as the kind of lad who will just engineer some weird transfer somewhere. Whereas Sutton and Zidane would never play with each other, ever. Is that how it's pronounced? Poo?
I just think that's how he's playing for Alf.
Oh, I thought I was getting another lecture in pronunciation. Oh, so for the benefit of the champ community, here's one for you. I did an interview recently for a particular role in London, and the feedback I received from these two very home counties boys was that I'm quite English. I was like, what does that mean? They were like, well, you'd be dealing with a lot on foreign banks. I went, the fucking hell do you think I've been doing for the past 18 years, lads? No? Right, okay. Even though they've got shops in Belize, Seychelles and Mauritius, which probably doesn't suggest much above the line, does it? Anyway, I do speak some French, and I've been to Mauritius and would have been fine, but no, fuck them. Right.
A prediction for this one, please.
Do you know what? I think it'd be another shit game, but I can't remember what I've predicted in chat. I think it's Pirates 2-1. And then Alf gets sacked on the game. And I do think whoever takes over after you 5 here, I think if you get sacked on the game, there should be a consequence, i.e. the whole league knows about it, so we can absolutely rip the living piss out of you, or you get replaced by...
I think it would become quite obvious when there's a new manager name, you know, even if Alf Bridge became Alfred Bridge or something.
Oh, yeah, or when a team just then wins 7 on the row, like Duggan has. Pretty obvious.
I can confirm that as of yet, no manager has been sacked this season.
That's incredible. I genuinely thought Alf would have been sacked a long time ago.
That's a lovely feedback. That I once got told that my interview was too long.
Yeah, just quite English. I come across as quite English, right? Okay.
And straight away, Ndai picks up an injury.
Right, let's be serious here. That's got to be Poe to DMC and bring on Robbie Perez. Got to be. That is the only logical fucking thing to do here.
Well, that's whereas this doesn't sound. If I'm sacked, I get the full Chester Club.
No, Alf, that's honestly, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You can't. This is the one league where you can't add manager to the other clubs. do you understand that? Fucking hell. Honestly, Joe, I hope he's injured for 4 seasons now.
I'll get straight in there as well. I agree with you. I think Pele moves down and Perez comes on, but
No,
it
do it.
wouldn't
Don't give him
surprise me.
don't give him a choice. We're going to be waiting for fucking 17 minutes for him to make his mind up anyway.
He may well. He has played Raymer this season, so it may well be a straight swap.
Fuck.
Oh, Macca, you do make me laugh.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, like whenever I'm on, like serious note, whenever I'm on comms, obviously I do just try and say the odd incendiary thing for a bit of banter or whatever, for a bit of wind up. But this is. I'll be honest with you. On behalf of the rest of the Super League managers, this is actually proper infuriating that players we would love to have in our teams and reckon we could do absolute bits with. Alf just seems to like ignore us for his own amusement.
Well, he's not ignoring you there. Look.
All right, perfect. Yeah, Poe for Ndiaye, Perez for the injured player, and then crack on.
He's blaming you if they lose. We resume the action with the change made.
Do you know what? Honestly, that's like the people who've been in power for 12 years blaming the previous government. That's exactly what you're doing there, Alf. And I will not fall for your PR campaign and smears. Perez, 89th minute now.
The home side seem very much on top just at this moment in time. A ferocious volley there unleashed, but it goes wide. 4 minutes being added on as Asta do come forward. Is there going to be a goal just before the break? Yeah, there is.
Yes, there is.
Morientes with literally the last kick of the half. And Celtics have been the better side. Higher percentages with everything except headers, where they're getting absolutely destroyed in the air.
I don't think he's bothered. I mean, if they're all Greasy's height, but they're winning 1-0, don't matter, is it? Like the fabled Barcelona team of the last decade were all about fucking 5'4", weren't they? And they took the piss out of everyone. So height's irrelevant, mate, I think, when it comes to this game.
Let's have a look at the home side, who are in the lead at the moment. Pretty solid rates throughout, although again, look at this low amount of involvement that Shevchenko, Morientes and Raul have had. They're just being efficient.
Yeah, for three stellar names, that is a shame. But look where his work's coming from. It is from his workhorses, really. I mean, I think the 6 on Effenberg's probably a bit harsh. But everybody else is, again, putting a shift in. Beckham, what a boy. What an absolute boy Beckham is. And George Artos, actually, he's pretty decent.
Yeah, and so comparing Celtics to Pep's Barca.
No, not at all. Not at all. I was just saying that necessarily... saying that, a lot of the players within Greaves' team are actually quite tall in real life. I think we're just saying the headers one thing is irrelevant to actual players' height on the game.
Greaves is saying roll till 60. Let's have a look at Al's team, and fuck me, that looks average.
It is. I mean, John Terry's putting a shift in. Ferguson's doing well, as always. But just Robin, Brook. But again, there's not maybe much you can change, though. Who's his top forward? Is it Filippo Inzaghi?
Yes.
10 passes, 10 completed, 2 shots. I mean, he's his main outlet. I mean, what would you? I mean, I don't know what he's done to Robin. Like, I'd be inclined here to probably shift Robin off, bang Viduka up top, 2 up top, Brugink in the hole, and go from there, and make it look like how me, Haggis, and Jens play.
Ultimately, I would rip this side up and start again because of how shit they're playing personally.
Do you know what though? There's probably a lot of capability there for Alf to do, say, like a Barry Ferguson 2 for 1, and Ndiaye 2 for 1. Like, say, if he came to me with a Ferguson, Robin for a Riquelme, Owen, and Batistuta, for example, I'd probably take that.
Such a shame you don't have the deals left.
It might be a bit silly because they're all my top scorers and stuff, but you know, it's one of them where I think if he pulls off a deal like that with somebody, you know, akin to that, that's probably where he can do a proper rebuild. I don't think he has to really sell absolutely everybody and end up with piss poor quality. Like, there's a lot of diamonds there in his team that he will get value in the market for, but there is probably, with Alf, I think, I know he's got a lot going on and stuff, that he would probably need to set aside an entire day where he does nothing but look at his phone and respond to messages.
Alf saying Macca's changes agreed. So, what did you say? Brugink in the hole.
Yeah, so I said, and then swap Robin for Viduka. That's just what I'd do if I had this team. I know what he's going to say. if he loses, he'll just go, "Oh well, you're not the manager you think you are." Blah blah. Blah. I couldn't give a fuck.
So is that it? Yeah, is that what we're going with?
Yeah. That's what I'd do.
Jens saying Alf doesn't come to anyone in that regard, Macca, and Alf here. If he doesn't make halftime subs in the next 16 hours, we will die of boredom. We're just all getting sacked.
He's just put my assistant manager Macca is worse than me. That, genuinely, like I mean, this is why I know
going on.
This is why I know the multiverse is real, because Rodeo's multiverse and Alf's multiverse are two different things compared to the rest of Super League.
A good opportunity there for Asta to level things up, but they don't take Viduka again with a good opportunity, and it's all Asta at the minute as we approach the 60-minute mark, and we pause it there. Alf's on the sherry. Genuinely, another manager is going with what Cocoms is suggesting.
That's just. I mean, can you imagine? That'd be like somebody in the dressing room listening to the halftime analysis on Match of the Day and then doing what they said. Macca take his keeper out and be done with it. No, Joe, I'm going to go and get some more peasant lager. You do what you want, Fiver.
I don't really remember Kira Weathers getting a whiskey for this, says Jens. Oh, dear me. Let me bring up the conditions for you, Greavesy, who is in the chat. We commented on the lack of strength in our opinion on the subs bench, but under a little bit of arrow on David's diagonal, please. Alf's on the Coco. Maybe Alf was going to make those changes anyway. Coincidence, isn't it? Says Tato. Just that tactical tweak, Greasy. Is that all we're doing? Nothing else at all? Well, while we just wait for that confirmation. Yeah, thank you. Cheers. We'll have a look at Asta, who only have Raymer left on the bench. But perhaps there's a tactical tweak in the offing for Alf. There's no obvious fitness concerns. I mean, what could you do in this position if you are Alf? I'd have a couple of suggestions, but it's difficult to say. Do you move Brugink up top?
Has he still not picked?
We've just flashed up the Asta tactic because Greasy made one tactical alteration. That was it.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't want
to say anything now because it's all integrity of the league and whatever else. It's like, so everybody else, you're on comms. You meant to do a bit of punditry. You offer what you would say. That's the whole point of like a bit of a pundit. All right, yeah, there we go. Arrows and Perez and Ferguson. Interesting.
Let's resume the action. And Celtics and there it is. It's Davids with that diagonal arrow. Has made the difference and probably won it now for the home side as they come streaming forward looking for a third. Into the final 10 minutes. If Astra are going to get back into this, they have to do it now.
Do you know what? I just think that Astra squad's beyond like saving confidence-wise. It's gone. But again, like his only option to try and win a game was to bring Perez on. It's not really perhaps a formation to bring Perez on.
And there's the full-time whistle. Celtics winning 2-0. Deserving of the victory. Higher percentages in the passing, the tackling, created more. Asta actually had more on target but failed to convert. If you're acting not asked in this game, Alf, you need to do it in the rest of your remaining fixtures because this isn't right. People not happy with Alf right now. Well played, Alf says.
Can I just point out? I'm sorry, I've seen a comment there from Edwards saying, Alf taking the advice of somebody willing you to lose. Can I just point out, I am very capable and able of separating my hatred for a club and or manager versus a tactical analysis. So that is what I would have done to try and win the game, not to encourage Asta to lose. So can we like park any impartiality accusations there? Oh, what's he saying now? You failed the assistant manager's application, Macca. I'm asking Ian.
Oh, wow.
Oh, honestly, five it. Conversations need to be had about fucking booting him from the league. That's disrespectful. That's not banter. That's crossed the line. It's crossed the line. What else could he have done there? Look at that. Celtic's keeper's had a 9 and he's man of the match. If anything, I've just made Alf look respectable.
There's daft risks, and then there's this Tato, mate. Away, says Duggan. 4 of his last games against top 6 sides as well.
I do believe Swan will eventually correct me, but I do believe Astor are on course to be the worst Super League side ever in terms of points per game, total points, goals scored, all that kind of stuff.
Should we give Greavesy a bit of credit here, because they're solid ratings and it was a fantastic performance all in. He'll be delighted reading this.
Do you know what? I'd actually, if I'm Greavesy, I'm a little bit worried that the worst side ever to grace Super League and your keeper's man of the match. I'd be a little bit not concerned. I mean, obviously, you take a win all day long against anybody in this league, right? But I just feel like there's a lot of 8s there and a lot of industry. And unless I'm missing something, I don't feel like there was just much to be really positive about. Like on another night, asked to win that 2-0. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't a demolition job. Like Gattuso's whipped his bollocks off.
Yeah, absolutely. But as well, you mentioned him in the pre-match. You said what good keeper he was. He also rated a 9. But it's just those 4 players. Look at that. Brugink 6. Robin got subbed 6. Inzaghi did get a 7. Perez obviously played the majority of the game. He did all right. Viduka came on and had something of an impact.
It's 3 Dutch lads, isn't it? 3 Dutch lads haven't turned up. Perez has done all right. Look, he's been involved. He's been busy. Viduka, again, tried to do something. So, again, if I was manager of this club, I'd be a little bit annoyed that, we've been competitive and both keepers have had blinders. But it's just one of them, isn't it? Like, what can you put it down to? A couple of 6s have caused a stinker.
They absolutely have. And that's what happens when you are rooted at the bottom of the table. You are just in a rut you cannot get out of.
Absolutely.
Let's move on to a game that you highlighted as potentially a good game, and it's the current top 2 as Northern Burn host East Coast. Coast, who have a full squad available to choose from. One of the very few teams tonight to have a full squad, to choose from. And Mark Kerr has made the media this week as they've praised him for being a huge talent for the future.
So we seem to have a type of save where Kerr can go on to achieve great things. In that case, he can be absolutely phenomenal. I mean, obviously, stats suggest otherwise in season 1, but 1 goal, 3 assists in 4 appearances is absolutely not to be sniffed at this level. So he's obviously doing something right. I do generally like the look of East Coast. The fact they've got Hoffland on the bench is incredible. Petkoff as well. I mean, he didn't quite fit into my formation, but you can see him as coverage for Boma and Vogel and potentially even Bishkan there as well.
Yep.
Etu, again, covers front 3. Really strong bench. Really like it. Really good team. Good setup. Should be an absolute humdinger, this.
Previous meetings between the sides, just the one, and East Coast won that 1-0 as well, with Captain Sol Campbell scoring the winner in that game.
Am I right in thinking Burn have done a bit of controversial business today? Have they done Keane and Scally for Tomasi?
Yes, Keane and Scally for Tomasi, yes.
That's an interesting one.
I don't think Coast have any left. No, they're not doing anything. So let's just go and have a look at that. There's Burn. So Tomasi due to come in with Scally and Keane going the other way.
Oh, Robbie Keane. I thought you had Roy Keane for a second.
Scally does start and Keane is on the bench.
Right, whilst the bid is ongoing. But do you know what? Yeah, absolute proper, star-studded side, that, isn't it? Like, there's so many players who get a game at other clubs. I mean, Raul Temudo's not one of them, so stop offering him in transfers. But so many other players would walk into other teams. A little bit shithousey that Scally's playing, unless Tomasi's playing in a game later on. Bench-wise, Zaire, Larson, fucking hell. proper decent team in it, and then they've obviously got cheat code up top. Hewell and Rui Costa in AM.
Duggan's
Rui
noticed.
Costa, yeah. Oh, yeah, he could do that. That's interesting. Rui Costa, yeah, I was quite happy to let go because he just wasn't doing it for me. Maybe I couldn't get the best out of him, but it'd be interesting to see what Edwards can do with him. But yeah, again, he's got another Galactico side. He has a tendency to put these Galactico sides together. Let's see if he's the real deal again this season.
And much like yourself, he was very vocal about how unhappy he was with the initial squad he was given, and yet it's being referred to as a Galactico squad. And I believe the term you used at the start was a transfer bully.
Do you know what he is? Again, and I'll try and be semi-serious with this. Edwards grinds you down, and he's very good at marketing. So not only is he quite creative, but he's also a great bullshitter as well. Like sliding into my DMs, telling me why I need even Helguera and why I need him this, that, and the other. And I just think if you were that fucking good, you'd be playing him. But fortunately for you, I don't like Rui Costa, so you can have him. Fine, whatever. But I think it's one of those where he very much will adapt his approach and try certain things to grind people down. And I'll be honest with you, I think half the transfers he completes are either with fucking morons or because people just can't be asked with 58 DMs. Simple as that.
A score prediction for this one, please.
I think to Swan, I predicted a score draw of either 1-1 or 2-2. I can't remember, but I think this could be an absolute humdinger.
Keane and Scally for Tomasi is an absolute heist.
It's only a heist if Tomasi turns up. Like I've never seen him do anything special, so it's a bit of a meh deal for me. Now I know the intricacies of it. I thought at first it was Roy Keane, then I'd have been like, that's outrageous. But Robbie Keane. Oh, there you go, cheat code. See ya.
Sigalko scores early to give Burn a 1.
Right, which fucking idiot traded Sigalko for like dead air or whatever it were? Oh, that's right. Mr. Genius PRG, who's fucking 12th. Do me a favour. No, but the thing is,
and Elka levels things up with his 15.
It just makes it not fun sometimes. Oh, what's this?
Sigalko from the spot gets his 20th of the season.
Like, what can you do about it? It's like playing these fucking super teams. You just think, what the fuck can we do? Like, you've essentially got a league where you've got your big six or whatever, and you're hoping like a Bournemouth or a Southampton or whatever, which is the rest of us, are trying to break into it. And that's why there's been so many outrages over the draft and whatever else. I mean, I don't think Burns' initial draft was as bad as Ian makes out, to be honest. He didn't have fucking Shane Tolley on par with Shevchenko, did he? Oh, look at that. Look at that.
And that's the difference between a top striker and everybody else. 2 shots on goal, 2 shots on target. Burn scored 2 goals. Coast have very much been in this game and just unfortunate. Anelka has got his goal and he is up to 15 for the season and is the only credible contender to Sigalko at the moment for the Golden Boot. But that is the difference that Sigalko just cannot stop scoring right now.
And do you know what, though? Fair play to Dimble with Anelka, because I've always thought Anelka, if he gets a bit of love in this game, no matter what save you load up, he might moan, but he will bag goals for you. Even if you only get one good season out of him, essentially that's all you need in this, don't you? You just need one good season out of him.
Scally has picked up the yellow card, which means he will be suspended for Stanley next time around. Ian already saying as is, waiting for Robbie Keane to come on now and get an injury. As for Coast, they did concede a penalty. Thierry Henry and Henrik Larsson aren't having the impact that they've had in previous games. Balmer and Cordoba both on cards. As you said, there is some talent on that Coast bench, though. So they've been playing well, and they've got possibilities to carry on putting pressure on. Yeah,
definitely. He's got. Do you know what I mean? If ever a bench called to change the exact situation he's got now, it's probably this bench, right? So he can bring Hoffland on for Cordoba, no danger. Petkov can cover for Baumer, and Etu can liven up one of Henry or Larson. Wait, well, what's he saying? Vogel up to MC alongside Kerr and Bishkan centralised. That's interesting.
Let's try that again. I've done that
probably would not have done that. I don't think I trust Bishkan at DMC alone, to be honest with you. But
no.
No, I wouldn't have trusted Bishcam there, to be honest. I'd have played Vogel there, maybe, but not Bishcam. I'd have been more inclined to bring Petkov on.
Interesting.
But I mean, what do I know? These boys are above me in the league. What do I know?
The thing is, Vogel, from what I remember, was it under the previous Halls regime where he spent like a whole season at MC and was one of arguably the best midfielder in the league that year?
Rings a bell, yeah. I don't know the exact specifics, but yeah, I think that's right. So here we go. Come on, draw.
Anelka scores again. Anelka and Sigalka going toe to toe, and there's Baumer with his first ever coast goal. And we pause the game. Coast in an attacking free kick position. Bern have been ahead twice, but currently find themselves behind Macca, with Anelka and Sigalka going literally strike for strike at the moment.
Do you know, it's that Kiotis 5, isn't it? He just seems to have tailed off.
Because look at Jeremy's 9.
Yeah, and as I pointed out, Rui Costa just doesn't seem to do much, or he isn't doing much on this save. So, again, I mean, the keeper 5, you can never do anything about that, and there's almost no point in replacing him, right? But I'd definitely be looking at Robbie Keane's got to come on for Rui Costa, hasn't he? I know he's being transferred, but I mean, he's already played Scally and booked him. So, what difference does it make?
He's
not forward. He's not forward, has he? Who's it? Genuine question for Edwards for the chat. Who's your backup if Sigalko gets injured?
He had Inzaghi, who went to Asta, as we saw earlier. If we look at their first team squad, Tomoda really is the only out-and-out striker.
False 9 incoming. I don't know. I've just got a feeling Sigalko might get injured in the next few games, you know.
Duggan would be amazed if one of these three MCs doesn't get a red. Jens also confirmed it was at Halls where Vogel was centre midfielder.
Fiore swap with Rui, little diagonal arrow, keen on Fiore. So he's going to give Rui the chance in midfield. That's an interesting one. I can see why though with a card. That makes sense.
Long arrow
on Carlos.
That long? Or does he mean that this?
Yeah, 3/4 or whatever.
I think he means to AM, but I would call that long arrow. So I'll just wait for confirmation.
Yeah, because you're short, medium, and long, aren't you? There with the 3 arrow selections.
Yeah, I would say so.
Not that long.
Not
so he
that
needs
long.
to
Medium
I mean,
arrow.
That's literally how he played in real life, though.
To AM, Haggis still have one deal left, and Alva Luque is definitely available. And you've probably got about an hour to get that deal done.
Yeah, I've just got this vision of poor old Rox living next door to that lad who at the minute just chucks everything in tortillas. Grills it. Like, I can just imagine Rox being like, shut the fuck up, like stop going to the takeaway, man. He's trying to do some weird champ stuff.
Coast, as we say, now in the lead, have performed very well, particularly in the second half. Do they change it here? Henry and Larson still struggling to get involved.
But why change? I mean, something's obviously working where Anelka's scoring goals. So even condition wise, there's nothing to worry about there, is there? I mean, if I'm Dimbalier, I'm rolling. It's a very good team he's got there. I suspect either him or Byrne will win the entire thing.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Not backing yourself?
No, as long as I knock Gazelles out in playoffs, that'd be sweet.
And that was me thinking that you got on so well. Vogel's going back to the FC as it started.
No, they started. They disrespected our great club. They started it. If you want to know which actual clubs, forget the managers, which clubs do I just not like based on their media content, then it'd have to be Asta, Rose, Celtics and Gazelles. Like, absolutely on the hit list. Just don't like them. I think they're just horrible clubs.
Henri Ortega, spectacular volley that goes over the bar. Scally into Keane. And still Keane. Denied the space to strike cleanly as we head towards the 80th
Could be
minute.
another one here.
And there's Keane. Sigalko! Third scored. There's his hat trick. 3 apiece. Free kick, Campbell.
There still might be another one.
Absolute clinic in finishing here.
Oh,
Scally's been sent off, which does make me believe he will be getting a 2-game ban when he moves to Bostock.
Ian Edwards, shithouse. Shithouse.
Both managers with 10 minutes to go now have the opportunity to mix it up a bit. I expect Ian to move Costa to the other side, drop Kuehl back and play Keane behind Scalco on his own.
That's exactly what I'd do.
Is my expectation. Duggan is laughing.
At which bit? The shithousery? Or call it as you see it. Call it as you see it. I do you know what? And again, I hope Ian gets inspired by some of my tetchy insults tonight and does some sort of, erosion on a outdoor shithouse type nouveau art thing. Right? Just be, like a seaside brick house that people used to shit in, but has been eroded by time and sea and weather. And it's just got all the players he tries to sign or sell coming out of it. That'd be phenomenal. I mean, it's bad when a tin pot dictatorship is absolutely slagging your conduct.
Kill back to MC. Rui on the right. Keep little diagonal arrow on Kill. Keep central with arrow. Normal arrow back on Carlos. And and again, he's just gone back to what he had at halftime. Well, okay. Tato say, gentlemen's agreements like handshake emoji should always be adhered to, in his opinion. Well, maybe there was no agreement.
Doesn't Tato have a tendency to go back on deals? I mean, I know Greaves does. But hasn't Tato done the same? Has he not got previous?
I try not to get too involved. I just wait for someone to send me a message to say that the deal's been agreed. Somebody in the chat called the red card.
I think it was Rocks, actually. Anyway, sorry.
We resume the game.
We've got 5 games left, mate. 4 games, whatever it is.
4 games left. Scalco, indirect free kick given. Costa, contra. Henry gets in the way into the final 5. And now here goes Mark Kerr. He's going all the way. Throw in, though. Into injury time. Will there be late limbs? Any more drama in this game? Oh, Jeremies has been sent off now.
He's got Tomasi coming in, so he doesn't bother, does he? What an absolute battle this has been.
In the 96th minute of the game, Jeremies has got himself sent off.
I also have a Vasilis Zartas, who I believe has always been a lifelong Astor fan. Wow. I'll tell you what, have you ever seen that meme when it says, a woman says, men will just sit around naming random footballers all day and like giggle at some of them? That is what this chat is every week, isn't it? It pretty much, I reckon we could actually do that. Not say any other words other than actual, forgotten footballers in a pub and just giggle at the obscurity of it. And don't get me wrong, that's a game I don't want to get into with Rocks and Rodeo at all. But it'd just be terrific banter, wouldn't it?
Random footballers, and probably not random enough for what you and Rocks are suggesting there. But I did see a headline suggesting Freddie Adu wants to get back into professional football.
Oh, why did he stop playing?
Yeah, his last professional games in 2018.
So he actually made it pro? Because I know he was bouncing around tin pot clubs, but I don't know if he was Ali Dyer in it and just having trials everywhere. Did he actually play?
Yeah, no, he was an American international.
Don't count, does it?
East Coast are going to be fucking fuming there. Dimble is going to go off his head.
Do you know what, though? I think before the game, if you'd have offered Dimble a point away from home to his biggest title rival at the minute, he'd have took it probably because it keeps him top of the league, doesn't it?
Certainly does. We're now getting a list of just
Oh, shit, I wish I
random.
didn't say anything. These aren't even
Random.
random. These are not even random. I'm talking like niche, as in like you'd name a craft ale after them if you're some weird pop-up brewery. That's it. I mean, nobody's going to ask for a pint of David May, are they? You're going to be like, can I have half a Lunduk Van Shandy, please?
Let's have a look at Byrne, who did finish with 9 men. Chiotis maintained his 5 rating. Hat-trick hero Maxim Sigalko gets man of the match. Robbie Keane managed to avoid any sort of controversy when he came on. It's not like he's turning up at Stanley injured.
By doing nothing. He's not even had a shot. That's how much he don't want to like injure himself.
A couple more names here.
Right, fun facts about Robbie Keane. Every club he's ever played for, it was his dream to play for that club. Yeah, Belton game that. Said it'd be a humdinger. Who had the assist? Ariel Ortega with an absolute performance. 3 assists.
I'll tell you what, Ortega has actually looked decent in a couple of games for Coast. I seem to recall. Then again, he's only been there 3 games. He's not.
Well, he's got him doing the right thing: creativity, crossing, dribbling, and pace. That's absolutely everything you want from a winger.
Harsh on Bostock, but my team was submitted before the deal was offered, says Ian. Just trying to defend himself from any scrutiny there. But yeah, it was an absolute clinic of a game from 2 fantastic sides. Igor Bishkan, you said, might struggle when he got put in DM on his own. He certainly did. Toldo didn't cover himself in glory either. Henry and Larson still not really having the impact that was required. But it was the Anelka and Sigalko show tonight. And as we know, 2 red cards in the final
Great
10
game.
minutes.
One of the best of the season so far, that I think.
We don't want that game next. Let's just go to the top of the list. We go to Casuals versus Gazelles. Casuals, another one of those sides that have the full squad available. The only alteration from last time out is that the core has come in for Freddie Youngberg, and Buffon is available again after suspension to go.
Look at the state of that team. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
Another one of those, for want of a better phrase, Galactico squads, are you suggesting?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I don't understand how some of these squads even lose games. It's ridiculous. I mean, that midfield is utterly world class.
Look how they've been sinking since game week 14-15.
I mean, good. I don't want anybody from Yorkshire doing well, but I mean, it's just, I find it surprising. Although, when you say sinking, it's on goal difference, isn't it? There's about 5 teams on 29 points. So, all it takes is, I think, me and somebody else to lose tonight, and Hodgie and Ian to win or whatever. And then, it's all changed. It's all, oh, yeah, we're in the playoffs, we're sound.
Absolutely. Cliver is another one of those players who gets widely criticised for not being, essentially real life quality in the Super League, but he's got 8 goals and 12 starts. It's not a bad return from him at all.
No, absolutely not. If you can get 1 in 2 from your strikers in this league, I think you're doing a good job.
Rock's pointing out the dip in form since he stopped picking Johnston and Zepeda.
Is it, or is that a speculative effort there from Rocks?
I think it's more for comic value as much as anything.
Yeah, I was going to say that seemed to have been laced with Yaboa-like fucking injections.
With regards to previous meetings, they met both in the league and in the cup, both times the away side winning 2-0, which is good news for Gazelles for tonight. I don't believe I've seen anything about... No, Casuals have no deals currently going through. Let's have a look at the Gazelle squad, who are littered with absentees. Juliano suspended, Di Biagio suspended, Dalmat injured, Vargas injured.
And that's probably what you get for trying to fucking play all your best players in, like, Dosser Cup, innit? Solid bench, though, to be fair.
It is a solid bench. So Barthez, who seems to get very confused in the media, saying that they won for the first time in about 4 games when they've won 2 in a row. Dan was talking to me when he was on comms about the influence Kivu has on this squad. He never seems to rate particularly highly, but they always get better results when he's in the team. He partners Titus Bramble, Neville and Mendieta out wide with Galka central. Nedved and Rivaldo look to continue pulling the strings in midfield with Petrov in between them. Adilson supporting Pizarro.
Yeah, very, very, very solid. And, I've been on the end of 2 very entertaining defeats against Gazelles this season. It is a good team. Anybody saying myth about bad transfers and bad draft, I think it is mistaken, to be quite honest. You look at that absolute stellar set of names. Galka, I'm a big fan of. I've said that earlier in the season. Likewise, Petrov. I think at left wing back, Phil Neville, I don't know how good of a job he's doing compared to what Liverani could do. So what's he put from? He's averaging 7.6. It's pretty decent, to be fair. Is Dan Kitchen doing a good job? Yeah. Is Martin getting overhyped on the back of it? Yeah. Is it irritating probably everybody? Yeah. Is that what they want to do? Yeah. So they might say a long way.
Game plan's working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Very, very, very tidy side. Lots of talent in there. I mean, I do like Cmsl, but let's be honest, there's probably never going to be a chance of those 2 clubs ever dealing with each other.
Here's a suggestion, because there's still a couple of games left of this. Why don't you throw it out there now with Davis coming in permanently? Throw out a cheeky loan bid.
No, because he'd just say no, wouldn't he? Like, why is he going to deal with somebody who just says, "I despise your club as a concept"?
Well,
never met him. I've never met. Don't get wrong, right? I've met Martin. Martin's lovely. We went for a coffee and everything. Sound. I'm sure Dan's nice as well. But just Dan's
a lovely bloke.
Very concepts of Gazelles and some of the media content just makes me dislike them. It's like, you know what I mean? I've only ever met a couple of dickhead Liverpool supporters in my life. The rest of them have been sound as fuck, but I hate Liverpool. It's just one of them, isn't it? They're a rival club. But yeah, tidy side. I expect them to do well. Probably will finish playoffs, but I utterly fucking despise them. However, I might get some brochures off Dan for a new kitchen because I do want one.
Score prediction, please.
I can see Gazelles winning this, and then there being some really sort of fucking passive-aggressive tweet aimed at me tomorrow when I don't give a fuck because I'm handing me noticing. So, honestly, Martin, do your worst. I don't care. Tomorrow is going to be absolutely glorious as I leave 10 years of hell handing him a resignation. 2-1 Gazelles.
Gazelles. Casuals with the first attempt to the game. Here come Gazelles looking with their first attempt. Free kick being awarded. Time flying by in this one. Lots of text, but minutes absolutely cruising by. Barthez lets it slip, and Veron gets his first ever goal for Casuals. Makes it 1-0 to the home side. 3 minutes being added on. Oh, it's nearly 2. And up the other end, Nedved. Oh,
unlucky. It's entertaining last few minutes.
I didn't expect that to say that there'd been 9 attempts on goal. That's for sure.
No,
the way the minutes were flying by.
Yeah, that's really surprised me, that. And Casuals, with looking into the sort of lower end of the list stats, by far the better team, it seems, despite the 1 shot on goal difference.
Mm-hmm. No, completely agree. It seems like when I see game or halves of play fly by like that, and then you see stats like that, it just suggests that the midfield and defences are parting like the Red Sea and just saying, "Come on, then we'll just go strike for strike against each other and see who concedes the least."
But that's absolutely what we want to see in Super League, isn't it? Right. So solid 8 from Buffon. Love to see it.
Veron absolutely destroying it in midfield tonight.
What a player. What an absolute player. One of my all-time favourite player, I think.
On this game, I presume, not in real life.
No, in real life as well. Seriously.
I remember the conversation we had some time ago where you said he was about 10 years before his time.
He was. I'll tell you what, if he was 10 years younger and burst on the scene, I guarantee he'd be playing for a Pep Guardiola team over the last decade and doing absolutely fucking phenomenal things. Unbelievable player. Like, I had the privilege of watching him in the flesh a couple of times. And I'm telling you now, he's the best player I've ever seen in the flesh.
Well, there you go. I don't think Hodgie is in the chat tonight. So let's click over to Gazelles, who, to be fair, I don't think I've seen Dan or Martin either. Because I certainly haven't risen to any of your comments so far.
No, which makes me suspect he's either A, not bothered, or B, not in the chat. I don't know if he's left any instructions.
No, Steve was the only one that left me any instructions for tonight.
Right. Do you know what? That's surprising considering how involved in the game they've been stats-wise as well. To see those performance numbers from his team's quite a surprise. But again, going back to the stats, I would personally be inclined to go, do you know what? I'll just roll because we're in the game.
Very much.
I don't know. Have we got Martin about, or I don't know. Are they both complaining to win? Oh, there he is. There we go. Saviola for Adilson. Yeah, not a bad shout. I was going to say, I don't know if he's complaining to Interpol about me or whatever.
Rock saying the end of his career winning the Libertadores with, I can't even say that.
Yeah,
Estudiantes.
Yeah.
Totally
So
player and still
Rox is absolutely right there. He basically wanted to finish his career at Estudiantes. I think when he was about 37, he was at Ardu a season. He drops into defensive midfield, started absolutely dictating games like you wouldn't believe. They won the Libertadores. And I think, did he not? Oh, here we go.
Sorochinski makes it 2.
Had it muted. Well played, Dan. You've done the right thing. Yeah, I think Rox will correct me if I'm wrong here, but did he not even get an Argentina call-up when he was like 38 again? Was it in 2010 maybe? When he was about 38 or something, he like got a call-up again because he was bossing it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's saying no, he got back into the Argentine side. Yeah, apologies. Yeah, if I'm Hodgie here, I'm rolling. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this performance. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, and with him not about, that is exactly what we will do. As for Dan, he's got some work to do here. Half an hour, give or take.
Do you know what? That's very
Look
unlucky.
at the state of that.
Yeah, those 3 players falling off onto 5s. That's so unusual for 3 players to do it. You know, 1 or 2 might do it, but 3. That's unfortunate. Oh, he is. Oh, he said as is.
Yeah, that's Hodgie, as is.
Liverani for Neville. Arrows on wing backs to AMC, please.
Is that it? Yep. Let's resume the action then. 2-0, 2 casuals. We're looking to firmly get their playoff hunts back on
they're not
track.
on 3, so even with a loss tonight, they still remain in the playoffs. So
Yellow card for Brown.
again, I don't think he'll be too concerned.
Oh, and we've got a late goal by Rivaldo. Will there be late drama? Veron, though, still going all by himself. Heading towards injury time. Have Gazelle's got one last chance in them? No, there's the final whistle. And casuals run out 2-1 winners.
Yeah, Hodgie deserved it on balance. Yeah, Hodgie absolutely deserved that on balance, and that's a massive result for him. I think if we go back to the league table, I think it's quite bunched between Gazelles and Hodgie. I think there's like 4 clubs on 29, and Dan might be on 33 or 32. So absolutely vital result for Dan there. And I want to say that Dan's running contains quite a few of the current top 6, if I'm not mistaken, or at least a few people in and around that space. So it's going to be a very interesting run-in for a lot of the teams involved in that mix.
Veron 9, Skipper Turan getting a 9 as well. Buffon back in getting an 8. Lowest rating anyone got in the casuals team is a 7.
Yeah, phenomenal
Hodgie
team.
Will be very happy with that, won't he?
Yeah, absolutely. It's about time this team of superstars started clicking. So, yeah, great performance. Really good win against the team in form. Hashtag playoffs are on for Hodgie.
So they got Rose, who are down the bottom. And then they've got Vikings, Coast, Dragons, Haggis, and then finish with Asta. So that group of fixtures with the cup game in there as well.
So they've got 6 points from Rose and Asta, haven't they? So it's that Vikings, Coast, Dragons, Haggis stretch that will really. Although saying that 6 points to take them up to what 39 currently
should be about enough.
Yeah, I think that's enough. Actually, I think they're safe. I think they're in there.
But they weren't safe tonight as casuals win 2-1, inspired by Veron in that midfield. Some of those 5s did increase. We could see there. Which is good news for Gazelles, but that's just small mercies when you have dropped points. Next, we go to what could be a very entertaining game between Badgers and Dragons. Badgers, who without the suspended Kaladze, the injured Rustiko, and Agahawa is tired.
He's tired. He's sick and tired of living in Lee. He's fed up of it. Don't like Booth Town. What is this nonsense?
They line up as thus. Van Bronckhorst and Dyer may be a bit further forward than I'm used to seeing them as starting positions, but I'm not too upset to see it. Samac and Van der Vaart, both capable. We've seen them do jobs in this league before. I'm just not sure if I rate them as a pairing in centre field. Suchowski playing behind Van Nistelrooy, Frey, Lasisi and Viali are supported by Thamani and Good Johnson.
Yeah, very, very, very sort of interesting lineup. Again, there's no... Well, Van Nistelrooy for me is an absolute superstar. And I know Van der Vaart's having an incredible season under Tato as well. But again, the rest of it is just very able, isn't it? Like, there's nothing spectacular about anybody else. I mean, Frey...
Whoa, hang on. This is spectacular.
What is?
Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, just generally.
What? Is he?
Yeah, and Kieran Dyer. I don't have a bad word to say about them.
Oh, yeah, because they're your old fullbacks, aren't they? Or
yes.
Wingbacks. Well, yeah, fine. They're solid and consistent, but they're not top of my shopping list if I'm going asking for players, personally. So, yeah, there's a lot to work with in that squad. I think, despite his absolute nonsense transfers that he does sometimes, I think Tato's got a really mouldable team there. So it's kind of mad that they are 10th. Just doesn't make sense. But again, this should be a very entertaining game against a very good informed Dragons team, who after 12 different managers, 3 redrafts, 14 petitions for transfers, more transfers, and a PR campaign unrivaled by anybody else in the league, are now actually doing fucking well for a change.
They went 10 games without a win at the start of this season and have now won 9 in a row. They have added Kaluzhny to the squad ahead of today's game. Parzanzini's also come in and then been dropped straight into the reserves. Excuse me. They are without the suspended Gerrard, but other than that, a full squad to choose from, and they line up as thus. So the only change from last time out sees Mark Levin Foe come in for the suspended Gerrard. Everything else remains the same.
That's mad. He's playing Foe there and not Tudor. I think you play Tudor there, then that rivals many 11s. I mean, I still think the weak at left wing back personally, but that rivals a lot of other teams. I don't know how much. I know you're saying nobody got sacked, but it just feels new manager bouncy. The fact that we're doing quite well, or is somebody else in the back? Is the ghost of Hopkins sending in TCTs? I don't know. Did my email full of tactics files make its way to Wales and Newcastle? Who knows? But yeah, my only problem with that is I'd probably put Tudor in instead of Foe.
Cat ass Claxon says yes. I know. No matter how many times I throw him away, he just keeps coming back.
He's a big Super League fan. Let him get in.
Loves it. Absolutely loves it. A score prediction, please.
Dragons are on banging form. One of the best runs we've seen, I think, in the way they've beat teams as well. All sorts of either competent performances or nuggety performances. So I fancy Dragons again here, but I reckon Badgers might score. So 2-1 Dragons.
Did anyone ever manage to confirm if Dragons win this? Is this a new record for Super League wins in a row at 10? There was some suggestion last time that 9 was a joint record. Possibly
question for Swanee, but I think it is lurking about. Yeah.
Let's see if Badgers can ruin that record attempt.
No, it'd be great if they did. The playoffs need tightening up a bit.
How the fuck has 7 people backed me tonight when the Dragons have won 9 in a row? Asked Tato. That is huge. Van Bronckhorst going off injured after just 22 minutes. Marco De Vaio likely to come on here, do we think?
I don't know. He's got to change his formation
going out wide?
He could do. I would play Van der Vaart left wing personally. and maybe bring on another forward. It just depends what he wants to do.
Well, he is trying to decide how to make those 7 people that have backed him correct. Devio on at left mid, and he can stay there, says Tater.
Devio, this is, do you know what? This is why he's batshit mental.
Fifey having a 5-minute period of mourning as GBB goes down injured. Let's resume the action after that Van Bronckhorst injury. And there's the Dragons' goal through Ronaldinho in off the post. And there's 2. It looks like the record is set to be smashed tonight. Amazing what
And all it's going to be is, how about them Dragons on a Subaru?
And Ronaldinho makes it 3
blah, 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 blah.
before half-time, scoring 3 out of 4 attempts. Badgers, 2 attempts themselves, none on target. The pass completion, tackle completion looks very good. It's just Dragons are ruthless at the moment.
Yeah, well, they've got a proper Ronaldinho, haven't they? That's been the difference.
Sebastian Frey on a 5, Sochowski as well on a 5, loads of 6s as well. What can Badgers do here to just try and get themselves back into this?
Nothing. The 3-0 down, it doesn't happen. It's done. It's game over.
Jens saying Dragons juggernauts. To get to 30 points after the start they've had is an incredible effort. And, they'll be starting to look at the top side. Sorry?
Are they not third at the minute? Are they not actually going to gain ground on Coast and Burn with this win? Frey off for Esteban.
Well, they're going to gain ground because those 2 sides drew, but no, I think they're 4th going into these fixtures.
Right. Do you know what? It is tight. From my morning, that 6 teams would run away with it. It is actually really tight, isn't it?
It's very tight. This one, I mean, we say it every year, but the race for top 6 will go all the way, and I think this could be one where maybe 5th and 6th is still available on the last game of the season.
Well, we've had a couple of goal differences. I think even a goal scored over the years. Like I think Jens pipped me on goals scored. The year Ryan took charge and fucked it up.
3-0 up. Do Dragons change anything here?
No, there's no need. If anything, you might give Vasilyuk a run out, maybe Tudor a run out. But you're 3-0 up. There's not normally enough chaos on the game to constitute a 4-3 Badgers here or even a 3-3, I think. Looking at the way everything's gone. So I'd maybe consider resting somebody.
Well, I've noticed that Roy Keane there dropped to 82% fitness.
Yeah, so probably, maybe take Keane off and play Tudor. Oh, he's going as is.
As is the word from Dragons.
He really wants to, he's blocking his number. Who, mine? It's probably not a bad thing. Every time I go out with you just make me sick anyway. Like physically.
Wow, and then 12. The game has only paused on the 80th minute because so much time has flown past. Absolutely no chance now, I would say, for Badgers to get back into this.
No, there's no point. Just roll. It's pointless. It's 10:30. We've still got 3 games left, haven't we?
No, just 2, I think.
All right. I'd still roll here. It's game over, wasn't it? I mean, that Dragon team will take some stopping. I wonder if they play Burn or Cosmos, whoever. Cosmopolitans before. Oh,
they play Coast on the final game of the season.
But look at that. Casuals, Gazelles, Vikings and Coast. I mean, saying that, they'll get another 6 points from PPP and Rose. So they're probably in the playoffs as well. So all of a sudden, it is that everyone's battling for 5th and 6th, isn't it?
Tudor coming on for Nesta.
Casuals look good. So yeah, it's probably down to me, Haggis, and whoever for 6th. Vikings, maybe.
Triple change with 10 minutes to go for Dragons.
The old energy server, you bring a player off before full time and somehow they magically regenerates 100%.
badges get one here just for pride?
Nah.
No, is the answer. Tavio going close. But, I mean, shit. Dragons offered nothing in that second half at all.
They didn't need to, though, did they?
I mean, that's possibly the worst looking 3-0 I've ever seen.
But let's be honest, 14 managers out of 14 would take that every week.
Oh, of course they would.
They've just somehow become ruthlessly efficient. And I wonder if it's new manager bounce or something like that. But something's happened in the background there where it's just everything's just clicked and it's been perfect. And
how does a centre-back get man of the match when he's conceded 3 goals? Look at that tackling.
Yeah, I was going to say, because 14 of 14 tackles, 11 key, like 66% of his passes.
That's a very good performance, really. But Esteban, come on, got an 8. And basically, yeah, both managers saying just that kind of, 14-minute period or 20-minute period where Frey just really let Badgers down.
Yeah, keeper went walkabout. And it's unfortunately cost Cmsl probably his playoff chances now, maybe. I'm not sure. We'll have a look afterwards.
So
10 on the spin and into the history books. Any chance of a bit of respect on the name?
Well, the thing is, here's what I'm going to say.
Go on.
You say your bit first, and then I'll say mine.
No, I was going to say, for a man who's always fucking begging and pleading to get his own way in terms of transfers and additional this and additional that and additional that, you're a man who wants to keep fucking playing poker after you've lost all your money. Like, and now you've got chip leader again. Now you're gloating about it. Like, have some decorum, Duggan. Do you know what I mean? You had a mint team, was shit for 10 games, and fine, you've won 10 games now. And all right, it maybe proves you don't need to be brilliant over 26 games, but I'm a bit like, it's a bit rich to be gloating when you've had fucking 3 heads on the team more often than not. You've been the loudest voice in terms of transfers and redraft. Generally got your own way. Like, come on, lad. Don't be telling me you've not. Well, there you go. Exactly. There's more than just Duggan here. This is exactly my point. It's exactly my point. Divide and conquer, ultimate resource. You could have one lad just doing testing all week, or doing whatever it is, or all this, that, and the other. So I just don't. Whatever. I'm literally on my own. I haven't gloated at all during this run, Macca. Fuck, away, man, as you would say, away.
So here's my take on it. And first of all, congratulations. You know, it's a monumental effort to get to 10 wins in a row in the Super League. It full respect for doing it. It's an achievement that someone would have to go some to match and better. Absolutely. Put some respect on the name. Of course, that there will be the mention now whenever anyone goes on this sort of run as can they catch Duggan and company's run here? And there will be the respect for doing it. However, it does also have to be said, it's not like, you're new to this. You've been around a long time now. You've taken a Dragon side from bottom to top to bottom again. You took Gazelles for about a fortnight and then resigned with them bottom of the league as well. So it's riding the crest of the wave. Embrace the good times because you've suffered the bad times. I'm sure the bad times will potentially come again at some point. And it's just about whether you stay as positive as you are now on your 10-game winning run if you go on another 10-game losing run. But no, fair play for 10 in a row. And long may it continue from your perspective.
Oh, mate, Duggan's the man who moans that the snakes on the board in Snakes and Ladders. Do me a favour.
I believe this is
I feel after tonight, that top 6 is going to look sewn up with the nature of the fixtures. I think because 4 or 5 of the 6 are playing 2 of the absolute fucking dross teams in the league. And it guarantees them the 6 points. No, it is. It's just that way, innit? So I do think, don't get me wrong, 10 in a row, great achievement. I think Hodgie did something similar or close to a while back.
Yeah, I think Hodgie was 9.
Team. Yeah, so I mean, don't get me wrong, really, really great result. And he will finish top 6 now, but it just kind of goes to show, doesn't it? Like, form is everything in this league, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So we're on our penultimate game. Triple P hosting Haggis. Simeone suspended, Rakoba injured, and that means that there are alterations. And of course, we said last time out they had those 2 season-ending injuries as well. So that sees a complete change in the midfield with Giggs and Mikhail going out wide, Scholes in the middle. Last time out, it was Donny, Figo, and Scholl. Figo moves further forward to support Jimenez and Rossini. Woodgate keeps his place. Live comes in next to Michelini.
I don't understand this. It's
what
generally like I know. So what? I mean, well, Scholes is an AM all day long. I can't hold his fosters. I'd be playing Shearer. I get that, but I don't know what's. I don't really understand what Campbell's going for. It looks like his cup team. Is he decimated with injuries? Yeah.
Well, not really, because the only players that were available for the cup games were Live and Jimenez. The rest are all first team players.
Well, yeah, that's because his first team shit. We said this. This is why me and him have been vocal about the draft.
So what element? I mean, I'm looking at that thinking, when you look at what else is available in that first team squad, there's not much there that I would potentially swap. This is as strong as it gets.
I'm also an Elba, season 1 probably getting a game. Surely Donny should be getting a game. I don't know if that would fit. No, I wouldn't play Lyth and Michelini in DM. I'd be playing probably 2 MCs.
Right, I see. Okay. Mehdi is a good player for
I don't know, mate. So it's not Madaviki. Is he the Iranian lad who can sometimes just go astronomical? Or was Iranian, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, as a winger, yeah, pace, crossing, creativity. Yeah, he's got all the attributes you want. I don't know. I just feel Scholes on his own in centre mid's perhaps a weakness. Or is he playing PPP?
Yeah.
Oh, it don't matter then, does it really? Actually, don't matter. You don't need any insightful commentary because, well, what's the point? It's Triple P.
Triple P, who are without Emerson, without Petit, without Zidane.
He's got Romario and Trezeguet, and Sutton and Crespo. He's got an absolute abundance of riches up top, but just nothing to get the ball there. Look at the state of that. That midfield is the worst I've ever seen. That's fucking appalling. That's so bad.
So Makalele's
just play 4-2-4 direct. Just don't even bother.
Makalele's come in for Petit. Melito has come in for... Who does say was unavailable? Melito's come back in for Roque Jr. Almeida's come in for Emerson. And Sutton has come in for Romario, who drops out the squad entirely.
I mean, Candelar and Salihamidzic, yeah, really competent wing-backs. But just that midfield 3 looks weak. I'd have perhaps been
the weakest that we've seen anywhere tonight.
Yeah, weakest in the league. That hands a trio, weakest in the league. I'd have been inclined to maybe play Mackay as a bit of an asymmetric.
Without question, his average rating looks low. I think, and because Triple P have been so bad, they for me are very fortunate that Astor have got nothing that describes form, because Triple P for me have been the worst side in the league this year. And I feel sorry for Roy Mackay because he's got 5 goals and an assist in a very, very poor team, and would be thriving in a better team.
Yeah, absolutely. As would David Trezeguet. I would snap your hand off David Trezeguet and possibly Romario. Or do I get to play him as well?
This was the team game week 1.
So Beckham. So we had Trezeguet and Penza.
Right, so
Beckham,
no longer
Zeri,
there.
Hofflin.
No longer there. No longer there. No longer there. No longer there. Starman.
Right. Do you know, again, Fifey, this is why I genuinely think you probably need some sort of transfer committee, because occasionally you will get a Rob who doesn't give a fuck, or Scott will be in a bad mood and just trade players for no reason, or Edwards will wake up and choose additional violence and just pester people into oblivion. Like, it's just it needs to stop. I mean, this is just absolute redraft. But Rob's not allowed to do transfers. Like that, you need to impose these kind of rules to just keep it straight up.
Well, given that I'm on my way, mate, I'm not imposing any rules.
This is why I'm taking over. If I think the transfer is bullshit, it's not going through.
Penultimate game then, mate. What is your score prediction?
Another turgid affair, but Haggis 2-0.
It's just worth reminding people, because I know how busy you all are. You've got this game and one more game to finish negotiating any transfers and send me a message, because as soon as we end the live show, the transfer window slams shut. Macca, you gonna send Dan a message about getting Cmsl in on loan?
If he's still in the chat. Oh no, he said he's got it on mute, hasn't he? I don't know.
Do you want me to put it in here? Hang on.
No. Do you know what? No, because I've got Nakata and Seedorf, who I generally play out wide. And if I do want to put somebody nuggety in midfield, I'd probably drop Helguera back in. And plus, Tato's made a good point. It is reserve swaps week as well.
It is.
I think I'm good. Yeah. I think I'm good.
Okay.
And plus, I'd like me and Dan to just have this like sort of. We actually have no problem with each other. And I have no problem with Martin, but just for the purpose of internet banter, we do.
Haggis looking the most dangerous. And there's Ryan Giggs with his first ever goal on this save for Haggis to give the away side the lead. And there's two. It's Jimenez with his 15th goal of the season. And now Triple B gets worse. They're down to red. They're down to 10 men. Fucking hell.
Honestly, one at the back. Macca MC. With an arrow up top, fuck it.
This Triple P side is so bad.
I don't understand how Rob can play this game for 20 years and get worse at it.
I would love a crack at this Triple P squad because it would be so much better.
And do you know what? Right, I'd do some legit trades with it. I'd be after Crespo, Trezeguet, arguably even Danielson, and I'd be throwing decent players. Like get fucked. Oh, fuck off, Rob. Who do you think you are?
Ian, you are allowed to make changes if you want to. Night and day with Giggs in this Haggis 11, isn't it? He's a massive side. Daniel fucking Jimenez. Ian, do you want to make any tactical alterations because of the red card? Roll is the answer.
Oh, here we go. Polite Tato. Like, no context Tato. Oh, they've been unlucky. Had some bad luck.
They haven't.
Shit.
And there's Rossini with his 5th of the season.
He's done shit transfers. The end. That's it. It's his own fault. Because Rob doesn't care. Rob wants to watch the world burn. And Campbell's now going to make out like he's an absolute genius when he's just played DOSes.
So at half-time, Haggis 3-0 up and a man up, absolutely destroying Triple P.
This is absolute dangerous bullshit. I tell you what, after this is why I don't like coming on comms, because it just ends up cursed against me. I guarantee this week I will lose to Bostock. I'll end up being 9th or 10th in the league, and I will never get back in the playoffs. And all I'm going to get is a barrage of shitty tweets in 6 weeks from people with kitchens.
Molina, a player again you know very well, but not used to seeing him getting a 4. Salihamidzic getting a 5 rating, Crespo getting a 5. It's just fucking terrible.
I don't understand. I
don't see how they could be this bad.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, Hodgie played some absolute piss take tactics the other week and won the game, and yet I don't understand how Rob's doing the same thing week in, week out and not even winning. Absolute wish. Sorry. Well, keep wishing harder. He might be on one week.
He's appearing on every other network at the moment.
You've got an intercontinental ballistic missile, yeah? You fucking peasants.
As for Haggis, as you'd expect, absolutely dominating, ratings saying as much, and Ryan Giggs, the standout player for them again. Yeah,
rightly so. I mean, look at that assist though. Scholes, Madar, Vikia, and Michelina. That's interesting. So Skull's actually having a decent game in centre mid, and the wingers doing a fantastic job. Yeah, again, if you're Haggis here, switch off for the night and enjoy being in fifth.
Ferdinand coming off for Okoronkwo is
that's
change.
You fuck it, Campbell. You might as well bring Shearer on. Just rub it in.
And Rob saying can't do fuck all here, just roll. So we
get the shit over with. Just retire, Rob. Do us all a favour.
Skulls goes in the book. What I was going to say when you mentioned Skulls was that Ian has an interesting rotational policy. It's like, there's Rossini makes it 4. Skulls and Scholl pretty much rotate game by game, just constantly swapping one in and one out.
I haven't noticed that. I wonder if that's a fitness levels thing or not.
Crespo 5, Mackay 5, Salihamidzic 5, Molina's still there on a 4, and they're not reacting and doing anything. 5, didn't you predict pointless. 5 home wins tonight? Looks good. That no, I predicted 1 home win tonight.
So at this point, just I can't. Nah, I'm going getting some Wish Peroni then. See you later.
Oh, funny. Scholl has barely played. He's made a few appearances, I think. I'm sure I could constantly swap the two of them. Taking into account Robin Campbell's friendly between themselves this season. It's just in Rob is throwing the game to give Ian some sort of playoff advantage there, Jens. Let Macca suffer, leave as is. Okay, and Ian? Any alterations for you? 3 players on yellow cards. Nobody particularly tired. This is the penultimate game for tonight's action. That's exactly what I'm saying. Might be Jens calling Rob out. Shearer for Rossini. Just the one change, Ian?
Has he dignitased him yet or not? That is a stat from Duggan. There is now a bigger gap between 10th and 11th than there is between 1st and 8th.
I like that some people do the maths as they go along as well. Anyone but Vikings says Rob.
Let Macca suffer, leave as it is. Why am I suffering? I'm not the one getting fucking bummed publicly on the internet every week.
And Haggett's looking to make it 5 here. Oh, so close. And if they show mercy, the referee calls full time at 4-0. Haggis have absolutely dominated. Triple P continue to be absolutely fucking rancid. And I just don't understand.
Oh, that stadium name, 5.
Well, do you know what? It just adds to the fact that they're a laughing stock of a club, doesn't it?
They are. Do you know what? Add them to the list. I fucking hate them. They're pointless. They're a blot on Super League. Do you know, they're depriving the likes of Bolton Phoenix and other people with some actual tactical nous coming in, doing a good job. So, you know, the sooner they get wiped off the face of the earth, the better, really.
There's not much to say because in every possible, discussable area, Haggis have just been better. Haggis needed that, given the other results. Pressure on Mac here, says Duggan.
Yeah, he's correct. And I foolishly looked at my fixtures thinking I've got to play both PPP and Astor and thought, well, that's 6 points. I'm pretty much home and hosed. I'll get a few draws somewhere else. But in all likelihood, I'm probably going to get pumped 4-0 here. In fact, I think I actually predicted Swan would get beat 4-0. So we'll see how we get on.
So similar to the Astor game, Stanley lost last time out, but they've gone unchanged. And interestingly, when you consider what happened earlier, Tomasi not included.
Well, interesting that Scott Sadler has got some honour, then, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not going to dispute that. I would also say he was the last person to submit the team, and that was after being chased for it. So there's every chance he didn't even look.
I reckon he was trying to conduct a deal, and fair play to him. But yeah, do you know what? Again, decent squad. I feel like he made it weaker with his own transfers, but whatever. Each their own.
So you're playing 5 players who are a yellow card away from suspension.
Yeah.
Last time you met, you drew 2 apiece. You had Gattuso sent off in that game. Riquelme, man of the match.
I think wasn't I winning until he got sent off?
Sent off on 60, yes.
Yeah.
And then got a last-minute penalty to draw.
Do you know what? I've had a lot of penalties this season. It's quite alarming. I think Michael Owen's a big component of that. I think he wins a lot of penalties for me, and that's maybe where his assists come from or something like that. And now he's suspended for however many games. I reckon I might be a bit one-dimensional tonight, which is why I suggested I would lose the game.
So as you say, Owen, they're suspended. Batistuta partners Vieri up top again. Other than that, I think it was unchanged.
Yeah, the rest of it's unchanged. Because the way I'm viewing it at the minute is, I know we've had a couple of shitty results recently. Like I think we've had a score draw and lost 3-2 to Haggis and something else. But we're scoring plenty of goals. So I'm a bit like, well, something's obviously working. And at some point, Stam, Valharan and Abiati will play like actual fucking humans and not like development robots from that Chicago uni or whoever it is, Boston uni. And actually do some normal shit. So who knows?
Well, as is traditional, I won't ask you for a score prediction, but I will wish you and Scott the very best of luck.
4-0 Bostock. 4-0 Bostock. That's what I said to Swan.
As we kick off the final game of tonight, and obviously this one is what closes the window as well. Carlos Shax gives the home side the lead.
Of course he fucking
4-0
does.
is on. But there's Luis Enrique, who has been very underrated this year to level things up.
Got him in the draft, I think.
And it's Montella. And it's 2-2 Batistuta.
I concede so many. It's entertaining, but it's frustrating to watch.
And now you're down to 10.
Fuck's Seedorf, who had about 2 red cards in his life. Abiati with a 5, of course he is. Yeah, drop Enrique in there, please, and then roll. That's all I can do. Fuck's sake, that's going to be game over now, then, isn't it? Bostock will win this 4-2 or something, and that's my playoffs done. Absolutely pathetic. Fucking Seedorf. I bet he's sent off for fuck all as well.
He can't be underestimated because you highlight him every week, 5 feet. Yeah, but I'm the only one talking about him. Is the problem? No one else is rating the job that Luis Enrique is doing. 10 goals, 2 assists for a player who never got a look in the Super League before. Just another one that Macca is proving a point with. But yeah, no sign of Scott, so we will carry on.
I don't think he's bothered. Judging by his transfers, I don't think he cares. I ain't going to win this game now. This is bullshit. Delete the save, redraft, etc. etc.
Whatever Macca Bingo you want to play. You're very much the dominant side.
Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? Can you see why I'm frustrated now? I've even brought in Yap Stam. I'm just like, do I have to play Western Stam then? I mean, I just keep conceding. If I had a decent keeper, I swear to God, I'd be top of the fucking league. It's just this
like
ridiculous.
An Oliver Kahn style keeper who's also on a 5.
Well, maybe not Kahn, but I mean, if I'd have been able to get Hans-Jörg Butt and Alf not talking riddles when I said, who do you want for Hans-Jörg Butt? Who knows where we'd be?
Well, there's still time, Macca. Drop him. Oh, wait, have you got any deals left?
No, I'm done now. I mean, at one point, I just couldn't be arsed, so I just started trading anybody. I think at one point I did Boom Song to Haggis or from Haggis just to make them feel happy.
Stick a cheeky loan bid into Alf for Hans-Jörg Butt.
You want Headman or Seaman? They both sound like sexual positions, so no thanks, Rox. No, well, Scotty's not here, is he? So he's going to roll. And what am I going to do? I've probably not got much choice because my only shit performer has been sent off. But Abiati's at least moved up to a 6. Nakata again. He's doing all right, for me. Batistuta's involved. Yeah, I'll probably roll as well. Might as well crack on. Like I said, I reckon I'll lose this in unfortunate circumstances. And then I might have to go for a walk because I can't fucking take this much longer. It's pissing me off every week.
Oh, we paused the game on a corner for Fulchester. Still 2 apiece. I'm just really showing this so when Scott watches back, he can see what happened.
I mean, that AM trio is an interesting one, isn't it? 3 players that I guarantee quite a lot of champ players haven't really heard of, and maybe wouldn't even sign.
So you got Carlos Shacks, who always does it for Scott.
Yeah, he blossoms, doesn't he?
Cabello, who has, since he's got into the team, has been very enjoyable to watch. And then, where is he? There he is. And Marquinhos got in the last couple of games.
That's the lad from PSV, isn't it? I've never seen him do anything, to be fair. So I guess we'll see how we get on.
As for yourself, then, sir, you've got 25 minutes.
Well, what can I really do? I'm not going to play Ballack left wing, so Alex stays. Nakata's on a 9, he's not going to come off. And Enrique, Batistita and Vieira, the old guard, all need to plod on. So I guess I'll just roll. I'll just go as is.
Diag on Enrique?
Little Diag on Riquelme, actually. Let's have some of that.
Yeah? Let's go for it. 10 men, why not?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's try and go for it, yeah. I reckon I'll lose now, but whatever.
Throwing too many men forward. Into the final 20 minutes. Not quite the final 15 yet.
Yeah, it is, though. When I played 2 DMCs earlier in the season to stop conceding, that's when I ended up dipping down to, 13th or whatever it was.
Here's Marquinhos. Shacks gets it horribly wrong.
Weather wet, 19 degrees.
Now,
Mortician's
Valgarin.
Go on, then. Go on, Riquelme.
Tries to Fury. Can't hold on to it, but Ekiel gets in the way. Into the final 10 minutes. Here's Montella. Cabello.
Come on, lads. Honestly, I've had so many Desmonds this season. Come on, lads. Come on, lads.
Here comes the home side again. Malevsky. Over the bar.
Come on. Nick one.
Ball's picked up by Nakato. He keeps going. Vieri, Batistuta, Riquelme. Alex! Come on, Vieri! And it's 3-2! The away side with 10 men.
Get in.
But now the home side come forward again. Aymar. Shacks. Corner kick. Shacks skims off the wall. Albiati lets him run free, but Ambrosini makes the clearance. Into injury time. There's the final whistle. 10-man Fulchester beat Bostock Stanley 3-2. And Ian straight in there. Massive that. And Stanley, who were everyone's title favourites at the start of the season, are struggling to even make the playoffs.
Look at that big 3 from that. Absolute John Cena us lot. Never give up. Passes, sound, tackles dominated despite not having a feisty cunt on the pitch. Headers won done well. Shots, goals, everything. I think we deserve that. No disrespect to Scotty, but we've dug deep and pulled out a performance when we absolutely needed to there. And I think manager of the year sewn up now then, surely.
1st to 8th is nuts, says Duggan. Some game that, says Ian Edwards. Up the Fulch, says Savage.
Yes, Savage.
And Tato suggesting Stanley gave up 10 games ago.
Yeah, he's right. They did. Scott don't care.
Well, in which case, if he doesn't care for the integrity of the league, you think managers who aren't caring would step aside and let other managers come in, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Carbon copy, Alfred Bridge, Rob Marshall.
I'm sure Scott does care.
He does. Hey, listen, the lad's had a lot on. Let's just get off his back. Yeah, he's had a lot of personal upheaval in the last few months. So, as with all personal things, champ is the first thing that takes a back seat.
Enjoyed that. A rise to Macca, says Rodeo. Basically,
Rodeo.
looking at the stats, Khan is just the letdown there. Everyone else pretty much did their job.
Yeah. Anything other than a calm 5 there in that game probably is a very entertaining 2-2, isn't it? It seems like he must have made a howler for the 3rd. I mean, did he parry it out in the wet or something like that, and then Vieira tapped in or something? Yeah, that's what it'll be based on then. But other than that, yeah, pretty solid, to be fair to him. Who's had this? 1 assist. from the
Yeah, just the
crosser.
one assist. Yeah,
That's mad. Considering the passing instructions I've got on, that is mad. But Enrique Batistuta Vieri, that sort of oldie trinity I've got up top. Drink ye Fosters every week. Maybe not. But again, the league's most entertaining team serves up another thriller with more entertainment and red cards and whatever. So, pleasure. Where are we at? We're still fifth.
So we had Badgers 0, Dragons 3, Stanley 2, Fulchester 3, Burn 3, Coast. So many teams scoring 3. Triple P 0, Haggis 4, Celtics 2, Aston 0, Casuals 2, Gazelles 1, and Rose 0, Vikings 2. Leaves the table looking like this. Coast 37, Burn 37, separated only by goal difference. Dragons now 3 points off the top on 34.
They're going to do it, aren't they? Dragons are going to finish top, aren't they?
They are. Gazelles 33, and then Fulchester and Haggis are in the top 6 on 32. Vikings and Casuals, it is also on 32, dropping outside the playoffs. Celtics on 27, 5-point gap with 6 to play. And then you've got Stanley and Badgers, 7 points with 6 to play, starting to look unlikely for them, isn't it? Triple P and 12th on 18, Rose 13th on 17, and Asta somehow still on just 13 points. Haggis win 2-0 and drop out the top 6. Cheers, Rob, says yes. First time Haggis have been in the playoffs all season, asks Rox.
And do you know what? I tell you what, this is where I tell you what, mate, this is where that goal difference of mine. I know every game's a fucking roller coaster because it's 4-3, 3-2, 4-2, 5-0, whatever, every week. But that is serving me. Oh, yes.
And next up, Fulchester travel to Asta Athletic. Macca, you look happy with that now, but you know how this works. Alpha's almost certainly getting the 3 points.
Yeah. I know 100% I'm going to lose next week. That's how
Dragons, record-breaking Dragons host the worst team in the league, Triple P.
Yeah, that record gets extended. Coast move clear at the top of the league. Gazelles move clear. Haggis move clear. Vikings, if they get something, that'll be good. I think Casuals move clear. I think this time next... it'll be Thursday night, won't it?
This is Thursday,
I will be out on the Razzle Thursday as effectively a leaving do, so I will try and participate.
Do you want to have a look at Sunday's fixtures as well?
Yeah, go on then, please.
So you've got Aston then Triple P. Oof. Oh, actually, no. Duggan makes a good point. This won't be Sunday because it's the Cup semi-finals. Yeah. Cup semi-final Sunday, but yeah, you've got an Asta Triple P double. This is your chance.
Do you know what? Yeah, if I don't get 6 points there, I don't deserve to be in the playoffs. And you know what's going to happen now? I'm going to get beat by both teams because Rob, just out of spite, will now play a conventional formation with his best players with decent tactics.
Just to clarify, so these fixtures will definitely be Thursday, and then it'll be the Cup on Sunday. Do you know what? I might even. What am I doing this?
Well, Sunday's World Cup final in it, Fife. So you don't want to be. So if you do, bear in mind though, a lot of the other lads will be probably out on the piss for the World Cup final, or doing whatever.
Oh, it's my Christmas do Saturday. I was going to say I might do the Cup Saturday, but it's my work Christmas do Saturday. So
is So what's the next? So this is the next round of fixtures. This will be Thursday.
This is Thursday. Yeah.
Could you do Cup? Because it's only 2 games, isn't it? It's the 2 semis.
2 semis, yeah.
I don't know how the lads would feel about getting a bit of a Saturday morning show on potentially, or are you busy?
Well, I'm leaving here about 9 a.m. to head over to Stratford for my Christmas party.
Yeah, do you want me? Yeah, don't worry about it. Do you know what? Personally, I wouldn't even bother Sunday night either. It's fucking World Cup final, isn't it?
Yeah, but the final's at 3 in the afternoon, so I'm tempted just to
exactly.
do the Cup.
So you think us lot will be compass mentis by 7 p.m?
Well, it depends on how many of you are interested in watching Argentina versus France, I suppose.
Oh, allez les bleus.
Anyway, that's all to come. I suppose it's official then that the transfer window is now closed. Any messages that I haven't received will not be processed. But when you get your packs ahead of Thursday, you will also see reserves. It is reserve swap week. Macca, as I just click through these final screens, any final comments from yourself on tonight or anything in general?
Do you know what? We will not go quietly into that good night. Look at that. Say Africa, man. Owen. Come on, boys. Like, we are trying to do our best to be more entertaining, unlike some squads. But it's shaping up to be a very, very, very interesting end of season. I think next week's league results are absolutely pivotal. Just because that will either sort of confirm the top 6 or blow it wide open.
It has been an absolute joy having you on. You've had me laughing the whole way through. In a way, I've probably not laughed in a long time. Always entertaining. Hope to have you on again, either before the end of the season or in the playoffs. Good luck for the rest of the season, Matt. Thank you very much for your time this evening. Again, yes, that's it. The transfer window is now closed. They will all get processed ahead of Thursday. Thank you very much for joining the two of us in the chat tonight. It's been another great evening of Super League action. But from me and from Macca, until Thursday, good night.
Au revoir.